Welcome to another edition of 822 News from Monday, May 17, 2021. I am Julian Cruz. This news streaming service is geared to keep you informed of developing and interesting news stories affecting Belizean society. 822 News has been created to offer an outlet and invite individuals to share newsworthy issues which impacts us all as a people. And now your news. Early this morning, industrial action went into high gear when union members decided to take over the George Price Highway between miles 46 and 45 and 46 near the capital city of Belizean and blocked the traffic flow. They also took over the highway leading to the approach on the bridge in Roaring Creek. It caused anger and frustration among the many commuters who were headed to their jobs or traveling to get business conducted. Vehicles were also strategically parked across the various highways throughout Belize, bringing the flow of traffic to a complete halt. In Punta Gorda, the blockade was staged just before reaching the entrance to the town. In Danbriga, union members took to the Hummingbird Highway outside of town. One member stated that the measure was being implemented to get the government to respect the union's position yet again. In Bengueville town, 4 union members were detained by the police at the entrance of the community when they attempted to set tires on fire on the highway. Where union members stood together chanting, "They will not be moved." As for the Belize district, the John Smith Road, the Philip Wilson Highway near the Narova Bridge and select spots heading into Belize were all blocked off. The NTB President, Elena Smith, said it was a move to call attention to the union's activities and demands and for government to return to the negotiating table instead of running roughshod over the unions and simply disregarding their proposals. They claim that the government keeps moving goalposts. Education Minister Francis Fonseca refuted that comment, claiming that they have not moved the goalposts. He referred to a letter dated March 30, which outlined 50 proposals conducive to mutual benefit for both parties. He thus stated that even then, the union negotiating team would not budge unless a 10% salary cut was removed. There would be no agreement or acceptance of these terms. GOB was asked to consider issuance of a promissory note, which was declined as it would have been counterproductive to debt servicing measures, stated Fonseca. GOB has, however, proposed to provide some compensation through performance bonus systems, as it has been previously explained. They have also embraced governance reform proposals, agreeing to the formation of a social partnership committee to review public finances, its management and expenditure, and to implement a 6-month review of best practices. The union's negotiating team continued to stand firm on its membership's position that they are not in agreement with the salary cut. But if not a salary cut, the new government will take a page from the IMF playbook and institute a retrenchment measure. So let's wait and see what happens. Now, it's not just lip service. The Belizean administration is putting its new policies into action. Last week, Cabinet approved the reconvening of the National Trade Negotiating Commission, and on Friday, they were already meeting with representatives from the business sector and civil society. The launch of the newly appointed National Trade Negotiating Commission aims to change the trade deficit into a trade surplus. There are representatives from different organizations who are interested in seeing the economy grow. Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ramon Cervantes, outlined the role of the National Trade Union Commission, stating, and we quote, "The role is more of a consultative mechanism and a vehicle through which we invite stakeholders in the economy to participate in the trade agreements. We act as a facilitator to promote our products for business and promote exports. It is for that function. We try to make it as broad as practically possible. There is still room. We miss some sectors, but they are always welcome. The idea is to promote trade for the benefit of Belizeans." End quote. The Office of Foreign Trade and Foreign Affairs, through the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, is the facilitating agency. The objective is to have discussions with interested parties to ensure proper protocols based on their knowledge of other countries and their trade practices, and then carry out the process. Present at the inaugural session were business sector organizations, civil society, the Chamber of Commerce and the Cultural Association, the Belize livestock producers, a diverse group of organizations representing the productive and services sector. The end objective is economic growth in these very difficult economic times. The Commission is working to realize this growth in the shortest possible time frame. We'll go for a break and wrap up with more 822 News. More than 168 million school children globally missed out on learning in classes as schools in some 14 countries remain largely shut for almost an entire year due to coronavirus-related lockdowns. The UN Children's Fund, UNICEF, reported on Wednesday, quote, "As we observe the one-year mark of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are again reminded of the catastrophic education emergency worldwide lockdowns have created." Henrietta Ford, UNICEF's executive director, said in a news release announcing the agency's findings. According to UNICEF, 9 of the 14 countries where schools remain mostly closed between March 2020 through to February 2021 are in Latin America and the Caribbean region, affecting nearly 100 million students. Of these countries, Panama kept schools closed for the most days, followed by El Salvador, Bangladesh, and Bolivia. In addition, around 240 million children, 1 in 7 pupils globally, miss more than 3/4 of their in-person learning, while over 888 million continue to face disruptions to their education due to full and partial school closures, according to UN data. Locally, government is pushing to get in-person class attendance going again. We had a talk with Principal Kevin Hall of the Garden City Primary School and asking how will students returning to classes be assessed for appropriate placement.
Then I could tell you what they want to do because we have to. We want to use a blended approach.
I don't know if kids will be coming back to the same class or they'll be jumping them, or you have to assess them.
We will assess
falling behind if they're progress.
Well, what the ministry is doing right now, they're doing a little research. They're administering, well, just yesterday, some of our students did a pilot BJET. So they want to do a research to assess the impact on the COVID on the students. So, and they have a BDAT test that I think from standard infant 2 or standard 1 all the way up to standard 6 that we will have to administer when they come in. So we could assess to see where they are. So we have to meet them where they are. We can't go to where they're supposed to be, you know. We have to meet them there.
So standard 1 to standard 6 will all be tested prior to being placed in a class once more.
No, they will go into the class, the new class. But we have to assess them as they come in to see where they are.
Okay.
So we have to start there. That's a whole countrywide.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can't really keep back a whole. We just have to meet them where they are and
carry along accordingly.
Put in place different intervention to move them.
Garden City Primary is set to reopen in early September. Belize is currently being monitored for multiple clusters of COVID-19 cases after 20 cases of the virus emerged in the city in the last 2 weeks. According to the surveillance officer of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Lorna Perez, there were 2 clusters of the virus in the Belize district, which she believes could possibly be the direct result of increased interaction and travel during the recent Easter holiday. She noted, however, that despite the clusters, there have not been any recent admissions of patients requiring intensive care at the KHMH's COVID-19 unit, although there is 1 infected person at the hospital at this time. There was, however, a breakout of the virus infection at the Princess Hotel and Casino on Friday, which caused the management to shut down the facility immediately. 82 persons were tested and 21 were found to be COVID-19 positive. 17 of those cases were asymptomatic and 4 symptomatic and are now receiving medical treatment and are in isolation. This reignition of viral transmission is classified as a phase of silent spread. Ongoing active surveillance attempts to pinpoint those cases before it gets out of control is afoot, a situation that had been observed in the northern part of the country last year. According to Paris, the active surveillance of Belize district residents' household dynamics, as well as the surveillance of business establishments and public transportation use, has contributed greatly to the ministry's timely responses in detecting and controlling the spread of the virus. Without these, Ms. Paris feels that the number of cases would surely have been higher. Examples of this story were taken from the Amandala online newspaper. We'll go for a break and look at the weather forecast. The government of Belize announced a reassignment of the CEOs in the Ministry of the Public Service and the Ministry of Economic Development last week, just in case you missed it. Dr. Osman Martinez, who had been serving as CEO in the Public Service Ministry, has now been appointed as the CEO in the Ministry of Economic Development. In a press release, the government stated that Dr. Martinez, who holds a doctorate in economics, would better serve the nation in the Ministry of Economic Development. Dr. Martinez was appointed as CEO in the Ministry of Public Service, Constitutional and Political Reform since last year's general election. He holds a doctorate in economics with a focus on poverty and social development. Rolando Zetina is the new CEO in the Ministry of Public Service. Zetina served almost 20 years on the Social Security Board and acted as CEO for a period. The GOB release stated that Zetina holds degrees in business administration and accounting, and his background in decision making and fiscal discipline will be critical to the reforms which are an integral part of the ministry's mandate. This transfer comes after public service union representatives made public allegations of victimization against a number of their union members. Many of these persons reportedly received letters of transfer contrary to the public service regulations. The then CEO in the ministry, Dr. Martinez, had signed off on these transfers. Allow us to remind you, the Belizean citizen, to keep those masks on and sanitize your hands as much as possible. Let us keep our country COVID-19 free. For any contributions, comments, concerns, 822 News can be reached through maxstudiobelize@gmail.com or cell number 635-1240. Stand up and speak truth, Belize. Until I see you again, take care. Goodbye.
Well, you know, I get a freaking